888-255 or find us on Facebook at Nationwide News Network and follow us on Twitter at Cliff Nationwide. You can also listen to Cliff Hughes online live on the World Wide Web at nationwideradiojm.com or via the Nationwide 90 FM app on your mobile phone. Now, here's your host, Cliff Hughes.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a Monday morning. Let's get to work.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right. Like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these...
Morning. I trust I find you well. And you are in a very good frame of mind, to take on the world of work in this new week. The reality is that we know you have choices and you choose to be here. We appreciate it. Yeah? And we try our best to make it an interesting experience, a learning experience. Yeah? Sometimes we provoke you. Yeah? With the intention of getting you to think and to challenge your own perspectives. Now, just before coming on air, a story I was checking on the weekend, and now I have here from the government of Jamaica, has just issued a release to say that the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security and Peace, Dr. Horace Chang, underwent, quote, an elective procedure over the weekend and is recuperating well. That means he's in the hospital. The release from the government says he underwent an elective procedure over the weekend and is recuperating well. It also says that during this period, the ministry will be overseen by the Prime Minister. And it concludes by saying, quote, we wish our Deputy Prime Minister a speedy recovery and a quick resumption of duties. This is, you can see the crafting of this message, very deliberate. What is that elective procedure that Dr. Chang underwent over the weekend? It doesn't say. Yeah? For how long is it that he's going to be out of office? Yeah, it doesn't say, but it says it wishes him a speedy recovery and a quick resumption of duties. Well, we wish Dr. Chang speedy recovery as well. But what was that elective procedure about? Elective. Yeah? Meaning that you choose, on the advice of your doctors or doctor, to do it, and to do it at a particular time. Yeah? This raises some questions. Yeah? An elective procedure over the weekend and is recuperating well. Procedure was at a surgery or not? Yeah? I suspect we'll have more on this. Yes? But that is a word from the government this morning, just as we were coming on air. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security and Peace, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang, underwent an elective procedure over the weekend and is recuperating well. During this period, the Ministry of National Security and Peace will be overseen by the Prime Minister. We wish our Deputy Prime Minister a speedy recovery and a quick resumption of duties. All right? Now, you would have, if you listened to this program, you would have heard me in the past make the point about an insidious disease that is now infecting our politics, our national life, public discourse, and that has to do with the I describe it as a normalization of lying in our body politic. I can remember clearly there was a time in our body politic when if a politician, a public person, was caught lying, it would be cause for serious action, including being booted from office. Yes? People would just simply write you off, because if you are caught lying, you would have eroded and spent whatever trust and confidence people have in you. And if you are the holder of political office, especially high office, you have to have the confidence and trust of the Jamaican public. And I've made the point that I noticed that with the advent of social media and the use of social media by our political actors, as in our political parties, in campaigning and disseminating of information, we have now seen this insidious conduct where the parties, the actors, and the surrogates, such as bloggers, vloggers, who are surrogates for them, engage in a despicable constant stream of lying, to the point where they concoct stories. Some of them are even now using artificial intelligence to create content to portray their political opponents in a negative way. And I think it has gotten to the point now where it is a real danger and threat. And this morning, there are two issues, two related stories. I see the Gleaner is now running a story this morning where the former Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo Fort, is proposing, according to the Gleaner, she is asking for criminal libel to be reintroduced in Jamaica. Yes, when you defame someone, you could be charged for criminal libel, meaning you could be imprisoned. We did away with that in 2013 in Jamaica. And that was widely accepted as a way to go. But now, with a torrent of disinformation, defamatory commentary and comments against not only politicians, but people generally in public life, there is a suggestion by Marlene Malahoo Fort for us to consider reintroducing criminal defamation. I don't agree with that position. You can't make the good suffer for the bad. I think this country made an advance, yes, when we moved away from criminalizing, speech. But, and there's a but because of our realities now, what do we do? And I see the second related issue is the response of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was in Little London, Westmoreland on Friday, opening a new police station. And the Prime Minister was so moved, given the reality of the lying, the deluge of lies that his opponents and his surrogates as well engage in online, on social media, in attacking each other to the point where he now says he's going to war against those who engage in such levels and extremities, because sometimes, for example, I heard George this morning talking about, I haven't seen it, there's one particular post that is calling for the killing, the death of a public official. Now, where are we heading? Where are we heading? We've got to pull back. Yes, we've got to pull back. So the Prime Minister says at Little London on Friday that me not afraid of nobody, and he's going to go toe-to-toe with those who are, because he's one of the main targets of the torrent of lies that now proliferate social media in Jamaica. You're going to hear that after the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
The Time brought to you by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Fueling growth everywhere is
15 minutes after 10.
In recognition of World HIV/AIDS Day, Charlie's Pharmacy is offering free HIV saliva self-test kits to you. Do your own HIV saliva test in the comfort of your home. If you're in doubt, test it out. Know your HIV status in 3 easy steps. Collect your free kit at Charlie's Pharmacy at 1 West Queen Street, downtown. Take it home and swab your gums. Read your own results in just 20 minutes. Collect a free HIV self-test kit or call Charlie's Pharmacy at 876-787-5025. Offer ends on December 8th.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see.
All right, 17 minutes after 10 o'clock. So, this phenomenon that we are now facing, the defamation of people's character, the blatant, chilling lies that proliferate social media, we can't do it in traditional media. We'll be sued. Yeah? But those bloggers and vloggers and surrogates, you can't find them. They hide. They're like cowards. Yeah? Them lick and run. You can't find them. Some of them take refuge outside of our borders. Yeah? They don't come into the jurisdiction. They don't come to Jamaica. Or if they come to Jamaica, they come in the dead of night. Screechy in and screechy out. Yeah. And they go online where it is the easiest thing now. Everybody can be an influencer, an opinion maker, a journalist, whatever they want to call themselves. And they engage in the most despicable of character assassination. Yeah? So the Prime Minister says, "Me not afraid of nobody," as he voiced his intention to go to war with those spreading misinformation and disinformation about his government's response to Hurricane Melissa. Here's Rubian Williams with that story.
The Prime Minister today shot back at what he says is the daily barrage of accusations from various quarters that the government is motivated by partisan considerations as it works to provide assistance to the people worst affected by Hurricane Melissa. The opposition PNP claims the relief effort, particularly in western parishes, is slow, inadequate, and influenced by political motive. They also allege that aid distribution is being directed by government ministers and political operatives instead of elected opposition representatives. The Prime Minister is declaring war on what he has framed as the coordinated dissemination of lies.
It is not just managing the disaster, it is managing the false information. And we have to go to war with that. Too much false information, distracting the people, when we need to have a positive mindset for recovery. And it is one thing that you will see about me. Me not afraid of nobody. All who want talk, make me go on. Me we go with you toe to toe. Every nonsense you talk, I will respond to it. And as you would have seen with the government, man come out with foolishness, we respond, not go so. And as many memes as they can make, I can make it too. So it's going to be war. Because we cannot allow people who peddle nonsense, the people who tell lies, we cannot allow them to win. So we will have it out.
Dr. Holness says he's disgusted by attempts to politicize the distribution of relief packages.
We are going to transition from giving out of packages because it's becoming highly political. Who never get, and if you go to a man's place and then him say, "Oh, you never call me to go give package with you." You know, the funny thing is this. The amount of JLP people who call me to say, PMP, MPs get package and don't come to them. And I said, look, I don't want a political issue. Don't bother make no noise over that. It is disgusting that persons would want to make political issues over the distribution of aid. We have to bring an end to it then, because some people can't help themselves. They can't resist it. And so we are going to shift from the distribution of food packages to giving persons coupons or cards that they can go and buy the stuff that they need.
The Holness administration has been criticized for the method it's using to distribute several hundred electric generators to residents in communities who've been without power since the hurricane. The Prime Minister says the devices have to be strategically deployed.
You can't share up 600 generators for 150,000 people or 42,000 homes. It's not possible. So what do you do with the generator? First thing you do is you want to give it to areas where its use will be multiplied. Police stations that now don't have generators, you give them generators. Now, what some people would have done if they were the government is to just take it and give it to them friend and give it to them company, and nobody would benefit. That is what they're trying to do, you know. That is why they are saying that nonsense, because that is, they believe that they would get political power by saying, I would give it to my friend and company. And there are those who are not thinking who would follow it. My government doesn't do that.
Robianne Williams for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Robianne, with that. When last you hear the Jamaican Prime Minister? Yeah? Using the vernacular in such a manner. It's been a long time. Very long time. And it is going to be interesting from here on to see the war he's going to be waging against those who online, they call him the most despicable of things. Yeah? I recall, you know, living through what Michael Manley experienced in the 1970s, especially in the run-up to the 1980 general election. He was a devil incarnate for some people. Siaga got it too. Siaga was crucified. Yes? I'm told that Shearer got his dose of it for the few years he was there. Pattison got it too. Portia got it too. Bruce get it. And now Andrew getting it. What is different this time round in this era is that unlike previous prime ministers, certainly in the era of Manley and Siaga and Pattison and Portia, you did not have the proliferation of media outlets as we now do. Yes? The main media outlets in the country were essentially one newspaper or two newspapers at most, the dominant one being Gleaner, and then for a brief time in the 1970s, the Daily News, and then after 93, 94, the Observer, and then the broadcast media landscape was pretty much restricted in terms of news, information, and commentary and analysis to Radio Jamaica, JBC, that became TVJ, and, you know, so it was very limited. Now what we have with this, the smartphone, everybody is online, everybody can get out whatever they want to say. And during that time when it was not as all-pervasive as it is now, yeah, you did not have the reality that these people who are engaged in the lying and the defamatory comments, they really couldn't hide. You could reach them. Yeah? Because it was not almost anonymous like they are now. You want to instruct your lawyers to pursue them? The lawyer say, where they live? How you file the papers against them? You can't find them. And they stay at some remote location, sometimes outside of Jamaica, to do the damage. And of course, criminal libel, in keeping with developments in the rest of the world, was phased out in Jamaica. Yeah? But I think it is something we will have to revisit now. Yeah? Because it is getting to a point where we are now calling for the killing of people freedom of speech is excellent. Yeah, nothing wrong with freedom of speech, but it comes with responsibility. Yeah, there comes a point where when you threaten people's lives, that is criminal. Yeah, it is criminal, and you can't expect to get away with that. Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah. All right. I see where we had a minor earthquake this morning at 2:24 local time, located near Goshen, St. Elizabeth, at a depth of 10 kilometers, reportedly felt in Santa Cruz. It had a magnitude of 3.1. Yeah? So there was a minor earthquake this morning mainly felt in western Jamaica. The epicenter was located near Goshen, St. Elizabeth. Yeah? 3.1 degrees. Yeah? All right. And here is something else being said to me. All right, when I get a chance to read that. But let's move on. So let us see how that develops. Read the Prime Minister's declaration of war. Yeah? The police are reporting that between January 1 this year and November 28, murders in Westmoreland Police Division were down 62% when compared to the corresponding period last year. Wow. That means 59 fewer people were killed in the division over the period. Remember, Westmoreland became one of the killing fields of Jamaica a few years ago with St. James, when they were migrating from St. James to Westmoreland, where the police are reporting that murders in the parish down 62% in 2025 when compared to last year. The JCF says shootings are also down almost 46%, with overall major crime in Westmoreland down by almost 47%. The head of the JCF's Development and Logistics Division is Deputy Commissioner of Police, Karina Powell-Hood. She says the figures reflect the hard work of the team.
I think this is one of the worst hit parishes coming out of Hurricane Melissa. And the team here has responded and rallied so well to continue serving the communities. Despite the many challenges that we face with the facilities, the team has rallied well. And it's just a continuation of the work that they have been doing, which is reflected in the statistics for the division. We are experiencing 45% reduction in shootings and an overall 46% reduction in major crimes. Thank you to the police and certainly to the residents, the citizens in Westmoreland, and for the persons here in Little London for continuing to support the team here.
That is Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Development and Logistics, Karina Powell-Hood. She's a new appointment? Yeah? Appointee? DCP Karina Powell-Hood. First I'm hearing of her. She's Deputy Commissioner in charge of Development and Logistics. That's a new appointment. Yeah. Now we're getting now news. Jamaica has secured a package of 6.7 billion US dollars over 3 years in international support for recovery and reconstruction after Hurricane Melissa. Almost 7 billion US. And that is very, very significant because the last figure we were told in terms of losses suffered, that figure was put at about US $9 billion. And now we are being told we have secured almost 7 billion US of that 9 billion. I'll tell you a little bit more after the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right.
Mark's Superstore Furniture and Hardware, Lioneltown and Portland Cottage Bear Clarendon, offers hardware items, home appliances, and much more. Mark's Superstore Furniture and Hardware, quick and fast delivery. The time by Mark's Superstore is...
It's 10:32.
Eclipse Enterprise is your go-to source for billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. Telephone 876-960-3891. The temperature by Eclipse Enterprise is
30 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 29 in Montego Bay.
The management and staff of Hawkeye Electronic Security wishes to say thank you to their many customers and friends for their support throughout the year. Hawkeye wishes for everyone a safe and peaceful Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Hawkeye Electronic Security, securing your world.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud.
All right, 25 minutes going up to 11. I told you about this that was just handed to me. Jamaica secures a package of US $6.7 billion in international support for recovery and reconstruction after Hurricane Melissa over 3 years. And this is a statement coming from Washington, D.C. It says, following Hurricane Melissa, and at the request of Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the CAF Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean, the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB Group, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank Group have jointly assembled a comprehensive package of up to US $6.7 billion over 3 years to strengthen Jamaica's recovery and reconstruction efforts. This coordinated effort reflects a unified commitment to help Jamaica pursue a fiscally responsible, long-term recovery through a combination of emergency preparedness financing, sovereign financing, grant support, beg your pardon, sovereign financing, grant support and private sector investments. The announcement comes ahead of the call Prime Minister Holness will hold with representatives from the international financial institutions to discuss implementation plans. So this US $6.7 billion over 3 years is what they're calling a joint response, quote, jointly assembled a comprehensive package, yeah, at the request of the Jamaican Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. You're going to hear more. It's a pretty long, detailed statement, yeah, and you're going to hear more from this, midday news and or evening program this afternoon. All right? But this is good news because at last tally, the bill, the Melissa Disaster Recovery Relief Bill, was at US $8.8 billion. Now we have secured over 3 years, 6.7 of that, and more to come. Yes? Tomorrow, I suspect we'll also hear more from the Finance Minister, Favour Williams, who is due to make a statement to the Parliament tomorrow on the supplementary estimates and the impact of the Melissa bill and costs and losses on our fiscal accounts. So I'm sure we will hear more from Minister of Finance, Favour Williams, tomorrow in the Parliament on that. I've been told that Deputy Commissioner Karina Powell-Hood, is not a new appointment, that she has been there as long as the new commissioner, Kevin Blake, has been commissioner, because she succeeded him. Well, to the person who sent me that information, the JCF has been hiding her. They have been keeping her under wraps. Yeah? The first I'm hearing of Deputy Commissioner Karina Powell-Hood. Yeah? So, welcome, Deputy Commissioner Powell-Hood. Yeah? But they're keeping you away from the media. All right. One final one before we go to the break. I see where the Transport Authority has moved against those operators who have been fleecing the public on the basis that Melissa struck. Fleecing us, robbing us. Scores of them have had their vehicles seized and prosecuted for the fleecing of Jamaican commuters, where they just jack up the price. Yeah? Here's the Managing Director of the Transport Authority, Ralston Smith.
So the authority has been on the front foot where the matter of fare increase is concerned. We did a number of prosecutions, probably in excess of 80 prosecutions, and seized about 50 vehicles so far, and we have managed to cauterize the issue in that the operators generally have reduced their fares to the pre-Melissa norm. Still may have one or two issues in other parts of the country that we are treating with. So as it regards the southwestern parishes, we have put out special teams as well. Those parishes have come under the radar of the authority. Fares by and large has been reduced back to the normal situation. So we continue to police it as an authority.
That is Ralston Smith, the Managing Director of the Transport Authority. Yes? He says serial offenders are at risk of having their licenses revoked.
I did indicate that wherever the evidence leads, the authority follows. So anywhere there is overcharging, the authority will set up tent, and we will continue to do our work to bring back the fare to the normal stage operators run the risk, if they were to continue to overcharge the commuters after losing their license, by a revocation and suspension policy. It's something that we have ensured that we have activated the revocation and suspension policy. We are keeping a database on all the offenders, so those individuals who have been prosecuted. We're maintaining a database on those, and we're doing the necessary follow-up to bring the matter to fruition. So yes, if it does continue into the Yuletide season, which based on what we are picking up now as we continue to intervene in the space, the situation has returned to a semblance of normalcy.
Thank you. That's Ralston Smith. Yeah? Well overdue. Yeah? Well overdue. Before we go, the people of St. Lucia are now voting in general elections today, Monday, December 1. And the polls opened about 4 or 5 hours ago. And the race, there are 17 seats in the parliament there in St. Lucia. So the magic number to get to form government is 9. And the governing party is Prime Minister Philip Pierre's St. Lucia Labour Party. They went in with 13 seats, and the main opposition, United Workers' Party of Alan Chastanet, with 2, and there are 2 independents. So there are about 180,000 eligible voters in St. Lucia, and of course their elections follow that of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where the opposition New Democratic Party swept away Ralph Gonzalez' Unity Labour Party 14-1 last Friday it was, or Thursday it was. And I hear them saying in the Eastern Caribbean that the code is yellow. Yellow is the color for the St. Vincent New Democratic Party of Prime Minister Godwin Friday. And yellow it is for the main opposition United Workers' Party in St. Lucia. And the color for the governing Labour Party in St. Lucia is red, as it is for Gonzalez's Unity Labour Party. So I don't know if that will mean anything tonight when we get the results. But Jamaicans, anything where go on, Jamaicans have to the red. Several, I gather, Jamaican politicians from the governing Jamaica Labour Party are in St. Lucia, as they were in St. Vincent last week, campaigning and helping their sister party, the United Workers' Party of St. Lucia. We'll have more on that. But the big news of the morning, Jamaica has secured already, 5-6 weeks after Melissa, US $7 billion in financing to take care of the US $9 billion bill that Melissa has left us with. The Holness administration has moved quickly and has secured US $7 billion, and with more to come. Now that is astonishing. The speed with which they have been able to firm this up and get the support. And I think that has to do not only with the leadership of the administration, but the track record of Jamaica over the last 10, 12 years in managing our affairs. The international community, the multilaterals, have confidence. We have now built up a lot of confidence among those financing institutions. So, this is a reward. Let me hear you on it after the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. as I could be.
Be the reason for your ornaments and your perfume. Soon I'll leave out the kids who got the ties for you. It's Christmas at Fontana, yeah. We got all the gifts here for you. It's all good inside.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, and 630-9374.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
11 minutes going up to 11. Dane is our first call of the morning. Good morning, Dane.
Good morning, Mr. Hughes. How are you?
I am all right. I'm here.
Okay. With this whole thing about the dissemination of misinformation, I think the first place that we need to begin in this fight is with some of the traditional media houses. With some of the time, the headline for certain news, like last week when the information minister mentioned at the press conference that none of the money that has been donated for hurricane relief has been yet spent. The Gleaner put out an article and said, not a dollar spent, right? So people take it, that headline, and they twist it, and they turn it the way they want it. Right after that headline was published, I see a popular vlogger took to social media, and he said, Jamaica, the government is wicked because they are yet to spend a dollar. You see, I've been telling you that it is the private people who has been supplying the package. When that was not what the minister said.
Yes.
The minister said that the money from the disaster fund is being spent.
And this is where we in traditional media have to hold true to the canons of our profession and our principles. Because if we don't, we are going to be part of the problem. Because I didn't see that story that you are reporting. But did that story explain, yes, that listen, it's not $1 of the financing that we are getting from the different risk financing insurance policies or from any other multilateral institution. That is what has not been, $1 has not been spent. But certainly what has been spent, and the government has said this, yeah, our own contingency disaster fund, which I think the figure I seem to be recalling is about $5 billion we have from our own resources, that has been spent, is being spent, not has been spent, is being spent. Yes? Did the story explain that?
Further down the story, but I'm talking about the headline.
No. Well, you can't judge any story by headline. Yeah, and that you can't blame the gleaner for. Yes? People must know. And you see, this is where we have to step up right around. Yeah? That is why we send people to school. That's why we give them an education. Yeah? You can't jump to a conclusion from a headline.
But if you go around Jamaica, if you traverse around Jamaica, there are people who do not sit to listen a program like this.
And you can't hold the newspaper or the radio station or the television station responsible for that inadequacy on their part.
TikTok is their traditional media.
Well, you're going to shortchange yourself, and you're going to fall into.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the shallow mind people.
Exactly. No, that's who I'm not talking about you. I'm not personalizing it. Yes, because I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, but the point is, the danger we're facing is one. We know your picnic, your colleague, we have to step up our game. Where are you getting information from? Is it reliable? Is it credible? Is it accurate? Or is it some paid political charlatan masquerading as a vlogger or a blogger? Who is providing that information? In what? In pursuit of what? Yeah? And the other danger is the political parties and the political actors, yeah, must not fall into the practice of lying and elevating lies. And that's where people like myself and others come in. We have to call them out. Yeah? We have to call them out. You don't lie. Because when you lie by omission or commission, you become part of the problem. You're not helping those people who don't know how to get credible information. And people abuse them and exploit their ignorance. The country suffers. They themselves suffer.
If they use, a picture, and so that was released yesterday, with the water in the bucket, that the Prime Minister, the Minister of Labour, the Ministry of Labour took to a compound town. When I saw that photo, the first thing I saw is the label from the company that provide the water. The Minister of Labour only attached their thing on it to say a property of the Ministry of Labour. I see the label of the water company, but yet still a leading vlogger is driving and pushing the narrative to say that it is paint bucket.
Is what?
Paint bucket.
Oh God. And you want to tell me, so we have a lot of Jamaican people fool enough to believe them.
They believe. They're running with it. That the government takes water to give the accomplice.
Lord. Then we deserve what we get then. If that is the level of intelligence we are applying, they deserve what they get. Drink paint for water, damn fools.
I see this blogger, Mr. Hughes, is claiming that he is the main reason why the PMP got 14 more seats in the last election. That it is hard work.
Well, I don't know on what basis he says it's hard work. I don't know, sir. Yeah?
But, Mr. Hughes, I just want to take this opportunity to also thank the government for the quality of leadership. They are not perfect. They are not a perfect government. But I appreciate some of the decisions that they made. Because firstly also, we are not yet across the line. But we are able to achieve one of the lowest crime rates in the last 3 decades.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say thank you to the police and the government in helping to build safer communities.
Yes. Yes. That is a big achievement, sir. Big. And the other thing now, I'm seeing more and more of this information coming to hand. Melissa struck us on the 28th of October. Today is the 1st of December. Right? Today, the 1st or the 2nd?
Yeah, first.
The 1st of December. Right? Today? Today is the 1st?
The 1st of December.
The 1st of December, yes. And that is, therefore, 30 in 33 days. 33 days. Less than 5 weeks. The IMF, the multilateral institutions, are announcing that because of Jamaica's track record of fiscal prudence, they have already committed nearly US $7 billion of the US $9 billion that Jamaica will need over the next 3 to 5 years to rebuild after Melissa. That is an outstanding vote of confidence in Jamaica and the administration of Andrew Michael Holness. And who don't like it, hug it up, tough luck. That is the reality. That is performance. That is management.
The truth is, Mr. Hughes, if half of the people, I'm talking about the opposition, the naysayers, give this man half of the support, the energy that they take to spread the misinformation, if we just give him the support, Jamaica will be a better place. But the opposition will not like something like that.
No.
Because it's not going to benefit them.
Exactly. Politically. I have to run, so time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
Super healthy, super happy. SuperMed located in Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary. The time by SuperMed family of pharmacies and Hughes Pharmacy is
11 o'clock.
They've lost homes.
Everything is gone. Have no house, have nothing.
They've lost power.
No water, no food, no light, no bed. Jamaican people need desperate help.
Some haven't heard a familiar voice in days.
The last thing I said to my sister, please be safe. And that was the last time.
For others, hope is starting to ebb. But together, We are rebuilding Jamaica, one parish at a time.
We have to try. We have to try. Can't give up.
Join Nationwide 90 FM from November 21 to December 19, every Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. as we broadcast live from Westmoreland, St. James, Trelawney, Hanover, and St. Elizabeth, helping families and communities rebuild after Hurricane Melissa.
And you can help too.
Bring your donations, non-perishable food, water, hygiene products, lighting, or recovery supplies to our office at 14 Ocean Boulevard, the Digital Building, downtown Kingston.
Let's show the true strength of our nation: unity, compassion, and care. Together, we can rebuild lives and restore hope. Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, and 630-9374.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
CG, good morning.
Morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm alive.
All right, cool. Just a few points in relation to some of the discussion from morning.
Yes.
Quick observation. First of all, it seems that when we talk about freedom of speech here, it seems that the Prime Minister is aware of a two-point biblical line that says, answer not a fool according to his folly. And then right next to that says, answer a fool according to his folly. One of the reasons why people say that contradictory, but that says, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him. And that's why for quite a long time, the Prime Minister has not been following up the negative comments and answering according to that. Not careful, you get into that and everybody sounds like that. That's nice. But it says also, answer a fool according.
Why are you on speakerphone, sir?
No, I'm using my earphone.
No, take it off, man. Don't want to use that.
Cool.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
You hear me still?
Yes, sir. Better. Don't use the earpiece when you're coming on the radio.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir. Better.
Right. No problem. Great. So it says now, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. So this is the explanation why some of the taking this business taking war with the people who are presenting the foolish and damaging argument.
Well, I'm looking forward to see how he will conduct and wage that war, because there are ways to do it. Yes, so that he does not demean his office. Yes, and his stature. Yeah. He has to do it in a way that is careful, that you do not demean your own standing. Yes? That you don't want to get into the gutter with them and the mud with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The wisdom of the creator comes into play now.
Yeah.
But the business now of freedom of speech and all that.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody appreciates that there is no such thing as absolute freedom.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Every freedom and right comes
responsibilities. Yes.
Right? So that comes on to the specific recommendation that the way to deal with this now in terms of both the business of what to do about cauterizing the wild abandon these people are distributing misinformation and stuff like that, is to recognize and to apply the principle that there is no absolute freedom. So you support the freedom of speech, etc. But clearly, right beside that, must be the understanding that your freedom, right, stops where it infringes on your right, God. Let's stop where it infringes on your freedom. Stop where it infringes on my freedom and my right.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So this is now, so with that in mind, that clear understanding now of how to deal with the business of misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, and I believe that I said it before, the maker is in a position to continue this position, appearing this unique, apparently unique advantage that it has, right? And we have the opportunity with this Charter of Rights, the constitutional thing that we're talking about, to perhaps be the first nation, right, to have just a Charter of Rights, but a Charter of Rights and Responsibilities, right? So as right beside each right, we put out and spell out the responsibility thing. And so now, when it comes to misinformation and disinformation, we don't really have to tear out our ear and stuff.
Okay, sir.
In exercising the freedom to speak, right? We need now have the responsibility to speak accurately. If we make it taking an opinion, we say that it's an opinion, and we need to be truthful. And when we get to the business of being untruthful and lying and stuff like that, we are into the criminal territory, right?
Yes.
And so there's the thing that says that the law is for the lawless. So we don't have to worry about the thing being criminal behavior being criminalized.
Okay, sir.
Avoid being criminal.
We get the point. Thank you very much, sir. Good. The other danger, is that we have to be careful that it does not creep into certain platforms, certain institutions, certain halls, yeah, such as Parliament, the lying, yeah, and the deliberate omission, yeah, and the casting of things in a way that feeds into the torrent that is gushing outside of those spaces. Yeah. Our next caller, who done it? Who names her?
Yeah, good morning, Cliff.
What's your name, sir?
Yes, who done it? It is. How are you, sir?
What is your name? You know my name. What is your name?
It is who done it.
Who? What your name? What your name? Yes.
Who done it? Is there a reason why I go with who done it? Because just to protect my family. And,
so who protect my family? Who protect my family?
You have all type of top security.
Oh, really?
No. We can't afford them. No. We don't want the PMP.
No. And I said work, brethren. Yeah? Some people want the cloak of anonymity. Yeah? Under the guise that you come now, you want protection. No, whatever you say, you must be able to defend it.
That is true.
Thank you very much. If you're not going to tell me your name, you're not going to have the talk this morning.
All right, let me tell you my name, Cliff.
Yes.
Because there's something I really called to clear up a misunderstanding this morning. My name is Robinson.
Robinson.
My surname is Robinson, yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. What happened this morning during the NTM program call in this morning, I made a comment during my discussion with George that as a result of the lie, the same very thing we're speaking about this morning, about how people is now using the phone, the TikTok, and social media to spread lies and misinformation. I had said something to George this morning that came across. There was a misunderstanding with what I said. When I said that JP, that is Jamaica Politics Uncovered and Jamaica Young Police, what I was saying, but I didn't include a certain word in this statement, was that George should reach out to them and to identify the persons who made certain comments inciting violence against persons. George should reach out to them so that they can then touch base with President Donald Trump so he can get these people out of the U.S. who are staying on social media and doing all of these things. That's what I meant this morning. So I must apologize to JPU and Jamaica Young Police for the misunderstanding.
Oh.
I just want to make it clear. That's what I meant to say. But it was, I think I leave out something from the statement, you know? Yeah, that I was making. So my apologies to them.
I'm kind of in the dark. I didn't hear the discussion this morning, so
Yeah, I get it. I didn't hear it, Sir Cliff. But there's no way I could. I'm a regular follower of those two platforms. And there's no way I could say that they are not good. They are patriots of Jamaica, as a matter of fact. Yeah, especially I think Natalie Stacks, who is the presenter or the podcast for Jamaica Politics Uncover, is a very highly intelligent woman. And there's no way, shape or form I would have said she's someone who incite and act irresponsible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you clarify that.
Yeah,
Okay,
man,
sir.
clarified. You have a good day, sir.
Okay,
Pick up
sir.
on yourself, you choose. Love you guys.
Okay, good. 12 minutes after 11. Fox, good morning.
Morning, Daddy Hughes.
Good morning, Fox.
How you doing, Virgin?
I am good, and you?
Why, me there, Daddy Hughes, I know me rejoicing on my Virgin.
About what?
Oh, you mean on my third term? Daddy Hughes, a long time here talking, man. I'm back, man.
The September 3 gone long time, sir.
Hold on, Daddy Hughes. Isaiah 1:18 said, come let us reason, say the Lord. I'm here to reason out a little thing, I know. We don't want to go down in the politics, you know, my Virgin. But let me tell you something. Them other people from 89 World War are forcing us to. And we want to tell you, let them know that we are out.
Hold on. I am being reminded because one has to be consistent. What is your name, Fox?
Oh, me, Daddy Hughes?
Yes.
Oh, Toby, man, T-O-B-Y.
Toby.
Richard.
Toby Richards. Okay, good.
Yes, man. Otherwise known as Fox, man.
Yes. Go ahead.
Daddy Hughes.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, my brother. You don't want to talk about the politics, you know, and we don't want to go there, so.
No. I'm quite prepared to talk about the politics.
Yes, but
I don't have a problem talking about the politics.
Yes, Daddy Hughes, I agree. We don't want to talk about it, you know, because we select a government in Andrew Holness for the third term to continue our business. You hearing me?
Yes, man, I hear you.
To do the people them work, we choose Jamaica. And the politics is creeping as if election is around the corner, 2 months down the road are here. But you want to remind those people from 89 Old Road that we out here ready and sharp to any mishap. And I will want to send a message to the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. I hear George carry a headline on Friday and said, the Prime Minister said he's prepared to go to war to defend the truth. The Prime Minister don't need to do that. He needs to just hold on his head and go and do the work that we elected him to do. You understand me, Daddy Hughes?
Yes.
Because we don't want him to say anything contrary that, you know, can bring the office and turn everything. Because the least little thing him saying, Daddy Hughes, people can interpret in a different form. We don't want that, my brethren.
Yes.
We don't want that. So make him know, let the Prime Minister know that he use that his supporter and his backer are out here ready and sharp to defend the truth and to sell the message. I want to say that you, before you leave, I want to thank you, Cairo and George and those workers in the evening for allowing me personally the opportunity leading up to the general election to sell the message of the Labour Party that they use and its PR. Not the result that we wanted, but to God be the glory, my brethren. Andrew Holness pulled through, and we can say to the Prime Minister, go and take your full salary because you deserve it. And we want to send a message to Mark Golding that he use. Make him stay the hide behind Melissa. Melissa done gone already and we're building back. But we're not done with him yet. Montague tell me about 2 conferences ago that Mark Golding is the greatest asset of the Jamaica Labour Party. So make him stay and think that we're done with him yet, that he use. Take care, my brethren.
All right, Mr. Toby Richards.
And hear up Benisha Philip to me. Love her so much. She must get a seat in that 4th term in my brethren.
I'm here wondering, when is he going to pivot to Venetia?
Me brethren,
and you never disappoint me.
Me say, yes. She needs to get a seat that he used.
For the last how many years you have been calling me? Yes? And every time you call me, you put in a plug for Venetia. Why Venetia won't take you out of your misery?
I was very much glad for that, my brethren. But anyway, and next day
she need to take you out of your misery, man.
Daddy wants to take care of morning to the Honorable MP Juliet Wallace, hold the fort as speaker. Because some of them don't believe in a woman. Pick up yourself, my brethren.
All right, Fox. All right, Fox. Good. Time for the break.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose.
Rhino Jamaica Limited, Jamaica's choice for water tanks and pumps. Now open on Saturdays at our Marcus Garvey Drive location from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The time brought to you by Rhino Jamaica Limited is
17 minutes after 11.
In recognition of World HIV/AIDS Day, Charlie's Pharmacy is offering free HIV saliva self-test kits to you. Do your own HIV saliva test in the comfort of your home. If you're in doubt, test it out. Know your HIV status in 3 easy steps. Collect your free kit at Charlie's Pharmacy at 1 West Queen Street, downtown. Take it home and swab your gums. Read your own results in just 20 minutes. Collect a free HIV self-test kit or call Charlie's Pharmacy at 876-787-5025. Offer ends on December 8th.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, and 630-9374.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light.
All right, our next call of the morning is out of North America, Canada. Good morning.
Good morning, Cliff. How are you?
I'm good.
Happy Monday to you and the staff.
Better for hearing from you.
And I thank you. You're so kind. Now, you know, I sent you something last night on a TikTok, and funny enough, basically one of your preamble this morning, talking about, you know, the behavior of Jamaicans, you know, and the language. Cliff, I heard this guy last night talking about, you know, Andrew and his wife. Have you seen that thing going around?
No, I haven't. I don't know
the
which
TikTok.
one. I don't know which one you're talking about. There's so many of them.
Okay, so there's this guy, and his name is right there in TikTok, so it's not hidden. Am I allowed to call? Because it's on there.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Anthony Allen. And that guy went, I mean, I've never heard anybody went so low and disgusting. It was like, Cliff, it hurt my heart. And then he's like, oh, you know what? Me alone will take you down, and the threats. So I put underneath his thing, and I said, you know, the last time I saw a young lady did the same thing, when there was a Don man who was shot up in thing, I remember I said to her, girl, take that thing down because you might be sorry. And lo and behold, she was charged. Right? And this guy, I mean, he went on under Mrs. Owner's clothes and, like, come on. Where's class? Where's respect? We have to do better, Cliff.
Yeah.
He was talking about, sorry, go ahead, Cliff. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, so I'm saying, because I was like, isn't there any way that these people, because I mean, I followed and I went right through him, and I was like, if, you know, they should investigate, they can find him. Because he was in Montego Bay working, I think the company is Comex or Comex, something another, but they were putting up these Sky, what they call it, Sky Link or whatever, and he was there videoing everything. Starlink. and he was putting up some Starlink. So he was on top of a building in Montego Bay. I could identify exactly where he was because, I'm from Montego Bay, right? I could identify exactly where he was. He was talking about how the street is dirty, like Andrew Onis and like his wife.
All right. We don't want to hear what him say. We don't want to hear him. We don't want to hear him.
So, is there anything to be done? Nothing can be done, Cliff?
Well, it depends on the content of what he said. Yeah, because there are protections under the law, but that is dependent on the content of what he actually said. Yes? But
it wasn't only defamatory, Chris. It was threatening.
If it was on both counts, he can face action. If the comments were defamatory, yes, the Prime Minister can pursue him legally. And if it was threatening, that is also a criminal offense.
Both.
Yeah.
Both, Cliff.
Yeah.
Both. And he didn't hide his name. His name is right out there. And it was very bad. So, and I know everybody listens to you, the whole world. You are their psychologist, their everything, their counselor.
We have quite a few of those now, and it is becoming a disease. Yes, a disease on the politics of the country. Yeah.
It's bad, Cliff. It is very bad. I do understand that we have our partisan affiliation, and we have to respect that people have views. But, as you said, because I came on the back end of you talking about, a lot of the people are in North America, so they hide behind the borders and they can say what they, you stay upon call back and cuss him. You're away so you can say anything. So there's nothing to, go against you. But the ones that are on there, come on, do better. We don't say you're going to agree with everything Andrew does. We don't say you have to agree with everything Marky does. Yeah, but guess what? There's some form of respect. Yeah. Where is that? And then, yes, as you were saying that back in the days, they did go after all the prime ministers, but it wasn't as bad with social media. With social media now, they just say anything and everything.
Yep. And they get
there's something needs to be done. I get away with it. That one, let me tell you, I'm never always calling about these kind of things, but last night I said, no, I sent it to you on your TikTok, and I said, I really have to call you this morning about it. That was the worst thing I've heard in a while.
Yeah.
And I thank you for listening, and go ahead.
Canada, so let us think beyond the punishment, yes, that is available for those who have been so defamed and criminalized. Beyond that, where will this end? Where will it end? If we do not bring it under some form of regulation, where will it end? Because when you feel that you can say anything, you can tell any lies, concoct any story about an individual, yeah, and you do it constantly, yeah, and that person feels virtually helpless. Where will it stop? What will that person or those persons resort to? Yeah, is it going to be shootout at OK Corral? Yeah?
Cliff, I tell you, for the first time I heard the Prime Minister speak out last week when he said what he said. And I always, even throughout the election, he kept his composure. He was very statement about everything. It didn't matter what they threw at him. He just kept on doing what he was doing and never went low. He did not go below the belt. He was just. But then with all this, the hurricane came and the disaster came, and I'm looking at it to say, okay, come to the table. Let's sit down. Let's discuss this. Let's do for Jamaica. Now, what I have noticed sitting all the way out here, looking in, it's all about so much money you get. What are you going to do with it? You going to add more wall on your house, or you going to add more 2 bedrooms on it, as if it is a personal thing. And then you have the people that are not well read, and they listen. When sometimes they come to me, I say, listen to me, go listen to mainstream media. Stop being on these blogger sites and listening to the offspring of what these people are saying, because they're partisan and they add and they take off from the information they're giving to you on social media. And when they get it, they can only think green or think orange. Clip.
Yeah.
And therefore, when the orange people are saying, oh, they're not getting this and they're not getting that, and it's only color that you get, everybody jump on that wagon or the green wagon, and not realizing that the people who are suffering are Jamaicans. It's not about the hurricane didn't come for PNP or JLP.
Yes.
It affects every Jamaican.
Absolutely. Thank you
And
very
that
much.
is the thing. And when you have,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Cliff.
No, go ahead.
When you have people of authority and the leaders that you should be looking up to and to be giving the information, they are spreading disinformation. And so basically their minions are going to follow them. And it's like, hey, if Cliff said it, it's gospel.
Yeah. Thank you very
And
much.
that is what we're having. So then you have all of these people coming out with all of what they're saying, all because of their leaders. It is such a pity. They're not looking at Jamaica. It's about the party. Thank you for listening, Cliff. Have
You're
yourself
welcome.
a great day.
You're welcome. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello? Hello, Miss Campbell? Oh. Farmer?
Yes, Cliff, morning.
What is your name, Farmer?
Well, I don't want to disclose my name on the air.
Oh?
You know, I always use this name calling you each time.
No, I don't know it.
Yes.
I don't know you.
You don't know Farmer?
No.
I you a long time now, I'm in a company here, man. Yes, but you used to this name, Farmer.
Me no know that name. Me no know that name. You see, like how Canada called me, I know that woman for years now. We know her name. Yeah, we know where to find her. Me no know you.
No good time now, me not call you.
You see, because people are tell lie on people now. Yeah? At least when you come here, declare yourself.
But me call a long time I talk to you on the program, and I remember you.
Well, tell me your name.
Even last week, I called you, but we never did a pick up properly. So we eventually cut off. Yes, I called you last week, and you couldn't pick up. But if you want to think that not have me on here, I can tell you my name still. But the call, I'm a regular call on this.
Give me your
program.
name, sir. Just give me your name. Nothing wrong with you giving me your name.
Well, Tucker still again.
Tucker. Very well. Tucker. Good. Go ahead, Tucker.
Yeah, man. What I call about is, it is so disgraceful to hear on this media they disrespect the two political leader. Most of all, Mr. Holness. They must stop it. But anyway, on this me call about Cliff, Mr. Holness and Mr. Golden to shut down this country for even one day and have the religious leader coming up by half a tree and pray for this country. Yes, Jamaica need this. Yes, and this is not about PNP or JLP. Yes, this is about Jamaica. Yes, and some of the people in this country, Christian, is very ungrateful. Very ungrateful. And if they don't turn over them life to Jesus Christ, it's going to worse than this. And remember, I tell you today, it's 2nd of December. Remember, anyhow we don't turn with life to Jesus Christ, dog are going to suffer. Because of skill, Kingston skill, why Kingston escape it. Kingston won't escape it yet. But God is showing people that He is the one still in control of this whole world. Yes. We're too wicked against one another, and all of this year. If one said kill, the other said yes. And God Almighty is watching us.
Yes.
And anyhow we don't change our ways and be our brothers and sisters keeper, yes, God going to name us suffer because we are so wicked in this country against each other. Yes. So I know Mr. Golden and Mr. Hollis listen to this station. So if them is listening, I am asking them to shut down the country for one day. And seeing people suffer for 3 days. Yes.
And
call all the good, yes, call all the good religious leaders and have a good fasting day and let everybody pray for this country because Jamaica needs prayer. Jamaica needs this place.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
We need
Jamaica
prayer and we need change in our own thoughts and behavior as well. Thank you very much, sir.
I know. Yes, all right, good.
Okay, time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock.
All right, it's 26 minutes going up to midday, 12. Well, a former minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, the MP for West Central St. James, Marlene Malahoo Fort, is calling, according to the Gleaner, for Jamaican lawmakers to reinstate criminal libel. The basis for that it would roll back, according to the Gleaner, not the basis of the call. The move, if accepted, would roll back hard-won press freedoms secured under the Defamation Act of 2013. Mrs. Malahoo Fort says it is now necessary, yes, because of what she calls rising incidents of online bullying, harassment, stalking, and defamatory attacks. She questioned whether reinstating criminal penalties might be necessary in this age of unregulated social media. Mrs. Malahoo Fort joins me now. Good morning, Mrs. Malahoo Fort. Good morning. Is she there?
Good morning, Mr. Hughes. Good morning to the listeners.
Good morning. Good to have you, ma'am. Yes. So we have been talking about the onset of social media and the abuse of social media, which is now resulting in a real threat to the democracy, with a torrent of lies and defamatory assaults on people's reputations and character. And you have said, time to turn the clock back 13 years? Why?
All right, let me share some of my thinking or some of what informs my approach.
Yes.
As a general rule, I do believe that the criminal law is to be used sparingly. It's a general rule.
Mm-hmm.
I also believe that in Jamaica we have too many crimes on our statute book which have not been prosecuted, not been enforced. And I don't believe that we must have laws that we do not use. So what that requires, and work that was in progress under the old Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, is just a look back at the legal landscape and to see what really makes sense, because the context in which you make law evolves over time. I want to make it abundantly clear to the gleaner, since you made reference to the article, that this is not about rolling back any hard-won gains. At the time when the repeal of criminal defamation was made, it was in keeping with a general trend in the Commonwealth. And the call was made. Jamaica responded to the call, as we normally do when advice is given in the context of the Commonwealth Law Ministers Forum and the Rule of Law section of the Commonwealth Secretariat. But things and times have changed, and a call for something to be considered is not saying that it is a done deal. It is a discussion that I believe we should have as a nation. I can understand that journalists like yourself and the Gleaner, media houses, will take a particular view on it. But if we close down a discussion before we even interrogate and explore it in a changing context, I think we do ourselves no good.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is happening in this age of ICT?
Just before you leave that, because for full context,
yes,
the change in the dispensing with criminal libel in 2013 wasn't only born out of the call from the Commonwealth, yes, but also our own experiences in Jamaica, where criminal libel, yes, was a hot issue, and it was felt that it was time to move away from criminalizing speech, yeah.
Right.
So it was just it was also a result of some advocacy here.
Yes.
Okay.
And advocacy exists in many places, and my reference to what was happening in the Commonwealth context was not to take away from what galvanized in our own local context too. We do have bad examples of free speech being looked at punitively when really it is fair commentary. And the law sets its own standard. So I take nothing away from the gains that were made in that time.
Yes.
We are now operating in a completely different context. And I say to you, in another medium of exchange, that an unregulated space where there is almost conduct amounting to gross recklessness. People say what they want to say. They make up stories, not taking the time to check for accuracy, check your source. And in the end, causing great harm. Because right now, at the touch of the finger, stories go viral. Literally millions of people can see it within seconds and minutes.
Yes.
It doesn't take the same kind of time to travel as it did in the past, across boundaries worldwide. And so the question that arises is what duty does one citizen owe to another when you are communicating information or you are speaking freely? Because freedom of expression is guaranteed to all. What are the boundaries of that freedom of expression? These are the matters that I believe we should be discussing. It's not a suggestion that is to shut down free speech at all, but is to examine this new context in which we are operating, when already we have numerous examples of people manufacturing information and putting it out that cannot be verified and just blatantly untrue.
And malice, intended with malice aforethought, yes? It's not the case of you having checked or made inquiries and you make a genuine error.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that is what would concentrate the minds of traditional media like myself, yeah, because in pursuing stories, we make errors.
Absolutely.
Yes, a word used at the wrong place or a comma at the wrong place, you can fall into error. Yeah, that has to be separated from those who deliberately set out, yeah, with malice to harm and to do serious injury to people's character and reputations.
Let me also say, Cliff, it's not simply a matter of my not liking what you say about me. Oh, but it is a gross recklessness. It's the manufacturing of information that is not true, manufacturing of and just putting it out with malice aforethought sometimes, and even if it is not so, it's with a level of recklessness, not checking, not verifying, not the mistakes, not the fair commentary in a heated competitive space. That's not what I'm talking about. But we must be open enough to discuss these things.
Yes.
So it's not about rolling back any hard-won gain at all.
Understood.
Context has changed, and I think we must respond to changing times. At the end of the day, we may say, well, this is not the route we must go. We must find another way of trying to regulate a very difficult medium of communication.
Here's
a very difficult platform.
Here's a difficulty, Mrs. Malahuford. The technology. The technology is so all-pervasive, so easily accessible, moving virtually every 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah. Lawmaking and policy will forever lose that sprint. It's a long sprint that is on the side of the technological innovators. Yeah. And part of the reality, as someone who has been, damaged, hurt, harmed, yeah, and trying to go after those to hold them accountable, you can't find them.
Cliff, it's funny you say that. There is a young man whom I've caused to be tracked down, who has put out a series of posts on a number of members of parliament and ministers of government with this fabricated image of with the hands behind, and just spewing a lot of untruth. And when you see things being said about you in your own frail humanity, it's going to cause you to be bringled. Huh? But you are so right that it's such a vast expanse of uncharted territory, and people hide behind fake identities. You really don't know. It requires a kind of stomach and maturity to just say, let it be, and hope that those who are interested in the truth will either investigate, take the time to call, and disregard. It's a very difficult space in which to operate. It's a very difficult space in which to govern, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try, at least.
Yeah. So, given your parliamentary experience and knowledge of the law, what could be an path that we could pursue? Setting up a joint select committee of parliament, putting it to the public, having what? How do you think we could begin to go about it?
There is no single avenue, but among them a motion could be put for debate in the House, and based on that debate we can go elsewhere. What I realized when we were doing the reform of the Constitution is that people genuinely want to be engaged. A lot of people have views that do not accord with facts, meaning that are not verifiable. They want to be engaged. And I think I support an approach which says that any policy that is going to be translated into legislative policy, placing responsibility on people, we should try as far as possible to have discussion with the people about it. Because
can you hold the line for us 1 minute, Mrs. Malahoo Fort? We're up on a break.
Sure.
Okay.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
Furnitureland is Jamaica's premier furniture retailer when searching for stylish and elegant pieces this Christmas. Located at 112 Constant Spring Road, open Sundays until Christmas. The time by Furnitureland is
13 minutes to 12.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift the smile, gift the smile, gift the smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
In recognition of World HIV/AIDS Day, Charlie's Pharmacy is offering free HIV saliva self-test kits to you. Do your own HIV saliva test in the comfort of your home. If you're in doubt, test it out. Know your HIV status in 3 easy steps. Collect your free kit at Charlie's Pharmacy at 1 West Queen Street, downtown. Take it home and swab your gums. Read your own results in just 20 minutes. Collect a free HIV self-test kit or call Charlie's Pharmacy at 876-787-5025. Offer ends on December 8th.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
Welcome back. We're talking with the former Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo Fort, on this issue of how to deal with the levels of abuse, defamation, bullying, harassment taking place online without regulations, without accountability for the perpetrators of the lies and the defamation. We were at the point where you're saying that we were talking about how could we go about trying to get this started, to fix it. Mrs. Malahoo Fort? Oh dear, we lost her. Sorry. 11 minutes going up to 11. Yeah? This is an issue the Prime Minister, by his comments last Friday in Little London, has now elevated it even more. But it has been a problem that has been brewing, where you have literally scores of persons who now make a living. I hear they are paid. They are paid by political parties, groups, to lie and to carry a particular line on social media. And some of them have made a living out of harming people's reputations and character. Yeah. Some of them are notoriously bad. Yeah. Mrs. Malahoo Fort.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes. So you were saying that, yes, going to the people. Yes.
Well, I think it's always helpful to clarify what it is that we're seeking to achieve. What is our objective in pursuing any item of law reform? And have the people's input. You know, as a nation, we have struggled with impunity and lawlessness. I do believe that when people take ownership of the laws and have a better understanding of why the rules are important to help to regulate us in community, then we stand a better chance of people buying into them. Doesn't mean that there won't be some who break the rules, but we can get closer to the kind of lawful society that we have been desperately seeking out.
Well, we let us see how it develops. The Prime Minister, I think, has elevated it, given his comments in Little London on Friday. He says he's going to go to war. Yes? Aren't there some inherent danger in that, Mrs. Malahuford?
I believe that the Prime Minister will find the appropriate method of dealing with any problem that the society is facing. We do have a challenge right now with people manufacturing falsehood and peddling them in various media, causing harm to many people. And there is a genuine need to look at how we can address this matter. Lawmaking is one process, and it is one that is now open for consideration. And I want to just repeat, particularly since the Gleaner has taken a view and opine on it, my call is not about rolling back any hard-won gains when criminal libel was repealed. It's really about fresh consideration of how we address a real challenge in an age of information, communication, and technology, in an age of social media that was not a context when the repeal was done. So this is something that I think all of us should be concerned about, every single member of the society, because people can really do harm, irreparable harm to others.
Today for me, tomorrow for you.
Yes.
you know?
So it's not about retribution, it's not about being vindictive, it's not about being revengeful. It's really looking at a real problem that is facing us. And it's not just here in Jamaica that requires thinking through. We have offences under the Cyber Crimes Act, and I think Minister Wheatley had responded to that. So you'll have to look on what is there and what else needs to be done. But it certainly cannot be left as unregulated as it is. And the fact that it is difficult to regulate doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to do so.
So what are you doing with your time now? You're no longer on the front bench.
You know,
what are you doing with your time?
Wouldn't you want to know? Aren't you curious?
Of course. Tell me.
That's for another conversation.
Another conversation. Oh, you have more time to spend in West Central St. James now.
You know, Cliff, boy, Hurricane Melissa has really done a number on St. James West Central. We speak generally about the communities that have been just devastated. Catherine Hall and West Green have been impacted in a very different way than other communities. It's not just about roofs being blown off, but when it's going to take a long time for some semblance of normalcy to be returned, in particular to Catherine Hall.
Yes.
If only you saw the level of muck and grime and thing that just washed into people's houses, and even after removing tens of truckloads and washing, they're still struggling. You know, people have lost everything, just about everything. It's an opportunity for us to do differently. I said to Ricardo last Friday that in every crisis there is opportunity, and some of the things that I'm thankful for is that general elections are behind us and we're still very early in the life of this administration, and timing allows us to consider certain options that are difficult and tough, Many times the political directorate is criticized about not having the political will to do things. It's not as easy as that. For those of us who have taken on the risk to run elections and see the people, you realize it's not as easy as that. But the truth is that with the wetlands emerging, and we're seeing clearly no areas that should be no-built areas, we must find what it takes to zone the space again and to enforce it and to just rebuild it differently.
Yeah.
We've always been said to have good building codes, certainly for structures, not so much for roofs, because many structures that are built to standard and to code have withstood even the borderline category 6 hurricane, but they have lost their roofs. And then you have...
Sorry, because we're running out of time, and I just need to ask, is there a concern over how building construction in that part of Montego Bay, your constituency, Mrs. Malahoo Fort, was done, where apparently has had this kind of effect, where the runoff, the stormwater systems there were compromised? Is that an issue?
Yes. I think we have to keep an open mind and we have to investigate. I don't think this is the time for any hasty conclusion on anything, even though the storm was at an unprecedented high category. We have to keep an open mind. Some things are strange. And you know what I have learned? Don't disregard people's good sense, you know. People who live in the space, who are there every day observing, they have views that should be taken into consideration.
Well, we need to do that work. We need to do that assessment so that we don't repeat the mistakes. Yeah? Thank you.
Sir. Accept my commendation for always trying to keep the people informed, even in your very provocative way. I hear you this morning saying sometimes your commentary is meant to provoke.
Yes. Yes.
Not just inform and educate and entertain.
I hear you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to the listeners.
Good. That's Marlene Malahoo Fort, the former Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs and a Member of Parliament for West Central St. James. Well, we're going to make way now for the World at Noon. We'll be back at 12:30.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock.
It's Monday, get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With the Stinger Honeybee
and Karim Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. Why you said?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brain busters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
Come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezoneblindates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblindates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
These are my confessions.
Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow. Ow.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
12 o'clock.
The News at Noon teasers are brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet.
It's credible and factual. The World at Noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
Good afternoon, I'm Dana Davey. Coming up in the World at Noon for Monday, December 1, 2025. Jamaica secures a $7 billion package from international partners for Hurricane Melissa recovery and reconstruction. 3.1 magnitude earthquake rattled sections of St. Elizabeth earlier on Monday. Edwin Allen, schoolboy, killed in a car crash in Clarendon Sunday evening. Industry Minister says it's prioritizing new export businesses in its efforts to resuscitate economic activity following Hurricane Melissa.
I'm particularly interested in are the MSMEs who have just started to be exporters. They don't have the kind of resources to put back up, and so we're working with them as much as we can.
In regional news, Guyana's airspace remains open despite U.S. threats to ban flights over Venezuela. In international news, head of UK budget watchdog resigns after Reeves's budget leak. And in sports, West Indies sets sights on breaking 3-decade-long wait for Test Series triumph. The details after the break.
The News at Noon teasers were brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet. The Midday News is brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. Jamaica is set to receive almost $7 billion in support from its international partners over the next 3 years to help rebuild the country after Hurricane Melissa. The world's leading development banks made the announcement in a joint statement from Washington, D.C. on Monday. The package is coordinated by Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean, CAF, the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, Inter-American Development Bank Group, IDB, International Monetary Fund, IMF, and World Bank Group. The multilaterals say the support is a combination of emergency preparedness financing, sovereign financing, grants, and private sector investments. It's in response to a request from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. In their statement, the banks praised Jamaica's robust disaster risk financing framework, which they say has enabled a rapid flow of funds to meet urgent response needs in the aftermath of the hurricane. They say the framework facilitated an immediate inflow of critical liquidity to supplement the government's own contingency resources, which total $662 million. In addition to that, the development banks say they have approved a new financial support package of up to $3.6 billion to finance the recovery and reconstruction program for Jamaica over the next 3 years. They have also mobilized $12 million in grant-funded technical assistance and are working to attract another $2.4 billion in private investment to fund recovery efforts. The damage caused by Hurricane Melissa is estimated at $8.8 billion. A 3.1 magnitude earthquake was felt in sections of St. Elizabeth earlier on Monday. The earthquake was reportedly felt in Santa Cruz sometime after 2 a.m. The epicenter was located near Goshen. There has been no report of injury or structural damage. Grief counseling is now underway at Edwin Allen High School in Clarendon following the death of a student in a motor vehicle crash on Sunday evening on Chapelton Main Road. The grade 9 student has been identified as 14-year-old Jadon Smith, a resident of Crawl River District in Clarendon. Police reports are that about 6:30 p.m., Smith was a passenger in a Nissan Sunny motor car believed to be driven by his father heading towards Maypen. The driver lost control and crashed into a wall. Both occupants were taken to hospital where Jadon was pronounced dead. The condition of the driver is unclear. Principal of Edwin Allen High School, Jermaine Harris, says support is being provided to those affected by the tragedy.
We are trying to see our best we can provide the psychosocial support to his father and other relatives, as well as his classmates. So I'm asking that we do all that we can to provide the support to his classmates. I know that the guidance counselors, we have a representative from the Ministry of Education, Region 7 with us.
Jermaine Harris, principal of Edwin Allen High. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, says small businesses in Accompong St. Elizabeth will be provided with what they need to resume commercial activities. Minister Hill was speaking on Nationwide this morning on Monday.
The Prime Minister, as you heard on that recent interview, said, no, okay, we have to, after speaking with Mr. Richard Curry, said, look, we have to get businesses back up in Accompong. So what we do is we have various teams that look at what is necessary. If you have a business that used to have fridges and freezers and so on, we go and see how much power you need. We size a generator if you don't have power, and we get that up and running for you. Some people need their roofs repaired. Some counters inside might need some help.
On Sunday, Prime Minister Holness toured Accompong with Chief of the Accompong Maroons, Richard Curry. With close to 40 small businesses now idle in the community, the Prime Minister says his government must work quickly to restart commercial activity. Minister Hill says several stakeholders will be working to achieve the objectives stated by the Prime Minister.
We have the BSJ, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. We have engineers from there that test their generators for us and go with us to make sure that they're properly told to the operators how to operate them, because often the owners are not the operators. So we take them with us, but we also have the Jamaica Business Development Corporation engineers from there go with us. They look at what must be done, and if you now pass, for instance, order at the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, you see that most of the 44 of those shops are up. All we expect to be up and ready for tomorrow. Saturday was out with the team. We installed 11 generators. That's the kind of stuff we're going to do in Accompong.
Senator Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Meanwhile, Minister Hill says the ministry is prioritizing the return of commercial activity among those business producing goods for export.
Ones that I'm particularly interested in are the MSMEs who have just started to be exporters. Exporters. They don't have the kind of resources to put back up. And so we're working with them as much as we can to say, and all the places I've been with the generators and so on are MSMEs. And we're going to make sure that the ministry, one of our agencies, will be working with them to get their exports back up and see how we can help through Exim Bank to give credit that have a longer extended time, and where we can shave the interest a little bit to give them some room to get back up and get back in business, because the moment they get back in business, we're all better off.
Minister Hill says no community will be left behind as his team works to restore commercial activity in the parishes hardest hit by the hurricane.
We have broken up the 7 parishes into 2. The 4 worst ones, those of course would have been St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Trelawney and St. James.
Oh, St. James, okay.
And so St. James is vital because you have a big set of communities there which are highly populated. So we've been working with that. I've been in the 4 constituencies of St. James. I'm working through Westmoreland to get more of those up, and Hanover and Trelawney are our focus this week. So we're not leaving anybody out. And in fact, in some places that are not even those that have had damages, political representatives from both sides have come to me and said, look, we need some help there. We're looking at those. So we're looking at the worst 7 first, and those are well on our list to get back where we need to go.
Senator Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. School administrations across St. James are still reeling from the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa a month ago. Our news team journeyed throughout the parish on Friday as part of Nationwide's Rebuilding Jamaica tour. Khaleesi Wright reports.
Principal of the Anchovy High School in South St. James, Dr. Laverne Stewart, told Cliff Hughes That damage to the institution is estimated to be about $50 million.
For Anchovy, this is really heartbreaking for us, in particular, because we have two campuses, and one of our campuses, which houses our junior students, that is totally destroyed. So our Dr. Fidel Castro campus will no longer be able to house any of our grade 7 and 8 students for any time in the near future.
So what is your estimate of the repair bill?
It is probably about 50 million.
Dr. Stewart notes that the school's administration used donations to open a thrift shop to benefit students and staff members.
We asked for assistance, and we were given assistance in regards to hygiene products, clothing, and we opened a little store. Even now as we speak, the store is open where students can go in and retrieve whatever it is that can fit them. Shoes, we have clothing, we have personal items, and we have also done that not just for the students, but also for members of staff.
Over at the Maldon High School, Melissa destroyed a perimeter wall. The principal of that institution is Jeanette Manning.
The damage was basically for the roofs. We lost the roof for a few classrooms. We lost the roof for a tuck shop area or eating area. We have a little space here where the students dine. We lost the roof for that area. Our perimeter wall crumbled, and this is the wall that separates the students or the school from the main road. That wall crumbled.
And I noticed you said crumbled.
Yes, it crumbled.
And the principal of the Cambridge High School, Harry Hanson, says students and staff alike have been badly impacted.
Few buildings were damaged. The teachers' quarters was roofless, so we have staff that are homeless. The community was wrecked, so we have students also homeless. So farms destroyed, the sporting field was flooded, and we have been reaching out, as we said, to the students. We have some students who have not returned to school based on the gravity of their situation and their parents' inability at this time to provide the support for schooling. We have been reaching out to parents. Our counselors have been busy making the calls where that is possible, just to give some hope to our students.
Close to 700 schools were impacted by Hurricane Melissa, many of them in St. James, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and Trelawney. This has impacted over 100,000 students and 5,000 staff members. Khaleesi Wright for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, principal of St. Mary's Prep School in St. James, Dr. Anthony Taylor, says facilities recently renovated were all devastated by the Category 5 hurricane.
We have lost 4 of our main buildings. We have lost the roof of the other 4. We have lost $10 million worth of renovation. We have renovated our multipurpose room recently to transform it into a STEM center, scheduled to open sometime in February. All that is gone. Our kindergarten block, which consists of 6 schools, all that went to the ground. Grade 1 to grade 2, and we're talking about 2 of each grade here, all to the ground. We had only 4 buildings that remained. That's the main building that housed my office, the grade 6 and the grade 5 that was roofless. Our canteen and tuck shop, that roof went also.
Dr. Taylor says the school's woes were compounded by the theft of critical supplies.
It wasn't about Melissa for me. Melissa did what she had to, but it was about members of the community and the adjacent community who came in and stole absolutely everything. Computers, laptops, the pots, the utensils, the doors from the newly renovated building, the unused tiles, the unused paints, all of those went. And I'm saying to you that they went in the community, because I personally drove private vehicles and went around the community and saw a lot of our furnitures.
Dr. Anthony Taylor, principal of St. Mary's Prep School in St. James. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, is hailing former chairman Dorothy Pine McClarty as a dignified leader who served with distinction. Pine McClarty, the first woman to chair for the commission, passed away on Sunday. The ECJ says during her tenure, she was instrumental in the successful oversight of numerous national elections and by-elections. The commission says Pine McClarty's passion for election law reform led to the enactment of political parties registration and election campaign financing provisions. The ECJ notes that Pine McClarty's engagement with the public included encouraging youngsters to support the democratic process. Pine McClarty joined the Electoral Advisory Committee, EAC, in December 2000 as a selected member and became a selected commissioner in 2006. She was appointed chairman in 2013 and served in that post until retirement in 2019. In regional news, Guyana's airspace remains operational despite a recent warning from U.S. President Donald Trump regarding flights over and around Venezuela. Director General of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, retired Lieutenant Colonel Egbert Field, says while international flights to Trinidad and Colombia have been using a different flight path, international flights in and out of Guyana were not affected. Colonel Field says domestic flights to and from interior destinations near the Guyana-Venezuela border are also operating normally. His comments follow a post by President Trump on his Truth Social platform on Sunday, in which he stated, quote, "To all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers, please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety." End quote. In international news, in the UK, The Guardian is reporting that Chairman of the Office of Budget Responsibility (OBR), Richard Hughes, has resigned. Hughes resigns after the publication of findings of an urgent inquiry by the watchdog into how it inadvertently published the budget of Chancellor Rachel Reeves 40 minutes before she was due to present the document in the UK Parliament. Hughes wrote to the Chancellor and the Chairman of the Treasury Select Committee last week to apologize after the OBR uploaded its documents setting out the details of the budget before Reeves began to speak on Wednesday. Hughes' departure comes after Reeves told media last week that she had confidence in him. In a letter to Rachel Reeves and the Treasury Select Committee, Hughes said he needed to play his part in enabling the organization that he loved leading for the past 5 years to quickly move on from this regrettable incident. And European leaders rallied to show support for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday after U.S.-Ukrainian talks to revise a peace proposal that initially favored Russia. This while the U.S. envoy headed to Moscow to brief the Kremlin. Zelensky was warmly received by French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris. The two later joined a call with about a dozen other European leaders, including those of Britain, Germany, Italy, Poland, and the European Union. Zelensky told a joint press conference with Macron after their meeting that Kyiv's priorities in peace talks were to maintain sovereignty and ensure strong security guarantees. He said territorial disputes remained the most complicated. Zelensky called on Ukraine's Western allies to ensure Russia was not rewarded for the war it started. Those were the stories making local, regional, and international stories at noon. Sports is up next.
The Midday News was brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade. Success powered by learning. The Time brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
12:19.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jackama figure dig the wall. Our Total Tools. Weed whacker figure trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand. Total Tools. We rent them, sell them and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When you say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option.
Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston.
And lot C6 Draxall, Sentence Bay. Call us today.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, up-to-the-minute local and international sports news, this is the Nationwide Sports at Noon.
Good afternoon and welcome to your lunchtime sports report. I'm Oreen Buchanan. West Indies captain Ruston Chase and New Zealand skipper Tom Latham are both sounding upbeat as they head into the opening test of their 3-month series at Agley Oval on Monday at 5 p.m. The visitors wrapped up their 2-day warm-up fixture with several encouraging performances. 4 West Indies batsmen registered half centuries in the drawn tour match, offering the Caribbean side a welcome boost in confidence ahead of the first ball. Yohan Lane, Jamel Warrican and Kaveem Hodge all delivered impressive spells with the ball, giving the touring camp further optimism. Chase said the overall showing was exactly what he wanted to see from the squad in the lead-up to the first test.
We had a 2-day game. You guys got a bit of that, especially the batters got to bat 90 overs, and the guys really that weren't here for the ODIs and the T20s that weren't really accustomed to the conditions and stuff, they really got a chance to experience it and get familiar. So far the preparation has been good. The few nets that we've had, the guys have been loving the challenge in terms of the bouncing of the ball and seaming around a bit more than usual back in the Caribbean, but the guys have been enjoying it.
He says condition favors the bowlers.
Any bowler would want to come in these conditions and bowl. Plus it's not too hot, so when it's nice and cool, the fast bowlers like to bowl very long. But yeah, I mean, the ball is bouncing and seaming around, so the guys are very happy about that and ready to bowl.
Ruston Chase. Now, New Zealand captain Tom Latham acknowledged the threat posed by the West Indies while expressing confidence in his own group.
They're a quality team, they've got quality players throughout. I think having played here already through the two formats of T20 and ODI cricket, I think will help on wickets that maybe offered a little bit more to the seamers, which I'm sure traditionally here at Hagley it does as well. So also played an ODI game here only a couple of weeks ago, so I think that will help. As I said, we're certainly leaving no stone unturned in terms of our preparation and what we want to do and what we want to get out of things over the next 5 days. So we're certainly expecting a tough contest.
New Zealand captain Tom Latham. Now hard-hitting all-rounder Andre Russell called time on his Indian Premier League career. This come days after he was released by the franchise ahead of the 2026 player auction. Russell, who spent 12 seasons at the Kolkata Knight Riders, will now make the transition to power coach in the team's backroom staff. The 37-year-old took to his social media platform Instagram to explain that he will still represent other franchises associated with the Knight Riders.
Hi KKR fans, Jay Ross here. Just want to give you guys the big news. I've made a decision to retire from the IPL. I'll still be active playing in various leagues all around the world and for all the other KKR franchises.
You can do it after the ball from Lloyd Goetz, Andre Russell. Superstar is back in town. This has gone off the bottom of the bat, and yet it's gone the distance. What a player, what a batsman.
Affectionately called the big man, or Dre Russ, the former Clarendon College star, is a 2-time IPL champion and is one of 2 players along with Ravindra Jadeja to score over 2,000 runs while collecting over 100 IPL wickets. Now to athletics, as pole vaulter Armand Duplantis of Sweden and American 400-meter hurdler Sidney McLaughlin-Levrone were named World Athletes of the Year at the prestigious World Athletics Awards on Sunday, capping off season widely regarded as amongst the greatest in the history of their events. Duplantis delivered a year of unprecedented dominance, and Alric Swaby tells us more.
Armand Duplantis set 4 pole vault world records in 2025, the most recent coming at September's World Championships in Tokyo, where he soared over 6.30 meters, becoming the first athlete ever to clear that barrier many once thought impossible. The Swedish star finished the year undefeated in 16 competitions, sweeping both the indoor and outdoor world titles and securing his 5th consecutive Diamond League crown. McLaughlin-Levrone enjoyed an equally flawless campaign, competing across the 400 meters and 400 meters hurdles. The American standout went undefeated throughout 2025, underscoring her versatility and dominance in 2 of the sport's most demanding events. Her season reached its peak in Tokyo, where she stormed to the 400 meters world title in 47.78 seconds. The performance shattered a 42-year-old championship record, reaffirming her reputation as one of the most gifted athletes of her generation. Meanwhile, Belgium steeplechaser Tim van der Velde has been selected as the winner of the International Fair Play Award following his selfless act to help another athlete during competition at the World Athletics Championships Tokyo 25. Van der Velde's fair play moment occurred during the 300-meter steeplechase heats at the World Championships in Tokyo. Alric Swibby reporting for Nationwide Sports.
Thanks, Alric. And now to basketball, as Jamaica will take the court on Monday to face Puerto Rico in the second game of their two-match series in Group B of the FIBA Basketball World Cup Americas qualifiers at the Roberto Clemente Coliseum in San Juan, starting at 6:10 p.m. Jamaica time. The Jamaicans pulled off a dramatic 92-90 win over the host on Friday, courtesy of a buzzer beater from Kofi Coburn. The victory marked the Jamaicans' first win in the FIBA qualification.
This is the beginning of the journey. The thing is, this is the first window, and I said we have a pool, the toughest pool with Puerto Rico, Canada, and Bahamas. We still have 5 more games. We haven't done anything. This is awesome. This is so much fun. This is why you play the sport. This is why you compete and do things. But we haven't accomplished anything. We're trying to move on to the next round.
Rick Turner, coach of the Jamaican team, says his players are ready to meet the challenge of playing in a very tough group.
We feel like we're in the toughest pool. Puerto Rico is just one of the best teams in the world. Canada is one of the best teams in the world. Bahamas is they're one game away from the Olympics last go around. So for us to be in this pool, it was really, a daunting task. And we talked about, really wanted to emphasize keeping our composure. And then, who lost his composure? The coach gets a technical foul. So I didn't really follow through on that. But that was one of the things that I got to say, our guards they were just super composed and great leadership on the court.
Rick Turner. Jamaica's next fixture will be against the Bahamas on February 26, 2026. To the NBA now, as the New York Knicks registered their 4th straight victory and moved to 2nd in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks defeated the Toronto Raptors 116-94 on Sunday at the Madison Square Garden. They were led by Big Cat Karl Anthony Towns, who registered 22 points and 8 rebounds, while teammate Josh Hart chipped in with 20 points and 12 rebounds.
Bridges, Towns wide open, corner 3, puts it in. Hands off McBride, shot clock at 5. McBride, beautiful pass, and Yabusele finishes it. Brunson, Yabusele, off the dribble, kicks it out. Clarkson gets a good clean look and hits the 3-point leading score. And the Toronto playing second game back-to-back as Kolek and Towns connect. Tyler Kolek off the bench.
Coach Mike Brown was pleased with his team's performance on the defensive end of the court.
This team can score a lot of points, especially in transition, and they move well in the half court. But to hold a group like this to 94 points speaks a lot about us defensively tonight. You're not going to do this to the Raptors night in and night out. And so our physicality without fouling while getting back in transition was huge for us. They had 2 fast break points in the 4th quarter. We also did a great job getting after 50-50 balls. There were 9 50-50 balls, and we came up with all 9 of them.
Mike Brown, those are his stories making a lunchtime sports report. We'll be here again at 5:25 later this evening. Until then, stay tuned, stay glued, and stay locked in to Nationwide 90 FM.
Contact the Cannabis Licensing Authority at 876-562-0591 or visit their website at cla.gov.jm. The time by the Cannabis Licensing Authority, building an industry, cultivating responsibly is
12:30.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice.
tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's Talk Justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
Recapping our top stories making the world at noon. Jamaica secures nearly $9 billion package from international partners for Hurricane Melissa recovery and reconstruction. 3.1 magnitude earthquake rattles sections of St. Elizabeth earlier on Monday. Edwin Allen, schoolboy, killed in car crash in Clarendon Sunday evening. I'm Dana Davey. You can find the news on our website at rivanews.ai and on the Riva News app, available on Google Play and the App Store. Major news next at 5 o'clock. Good afternoon.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We are having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune into the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's Talk Justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, and 630-9374.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Good afternoon. 24 minutes going up to 1 o'clock. And I want to do two things. First, I want to pause to pay my tribute to an outstanding Jamaican woman, citizen, public servant, attorney at law, community leader, and just a decent human being. I'm speaking of Dorothy Pine McClarty, outstanding lawyer, former managing partner at Myers, Fletcher and Gordon, a leader in the legal profession, but also a leading member of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. When the history of the success of that post-independent institution is recorded and written, one of the names that will figure prominently in contributing to the success of the electoral administration of Jamaica through the Electoral Advisory Committee and then the Electoral Commission of Jamaica will be Dorothy Pine McClarty. She is no longer with us, and I want to recognize her for her outstanding contribution to the development of Jamaica. You know, many of us don't know that the Electoral Commission of Jamaica is now one of the success stories of Jamaica post-1962, where our democracy and how we have been able to conduct elections is an envy of many, many countries, including rich, developed countries. Yeah? And I point to what happened as possibly the biggest example of how well we have run elections in Jamaica. In February 2016, on the night of the general elections, when there was a hair's breadth separating the two major political parties, the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. And as it turns out, 3,000 votes separated the winner from the loser. 1 seat separated them. And Jamaica came through that. We didn't have one person being shot or being injured. Yeah, we didn't have any threats of disobedience, civil or otherwise. We didn't have any threats of locking down the country, of not agreeing, welcoming the results, accepting the results is the word I'm looking for. We didn't have any disagreement over that. And it is because of the confidence that the two major political parties and the wider Jamaican public reposed in the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. And Dorothy Pine McClarty played a leading role yes, in the development of that institution. Yeah? Walk good, Mrs. McClarty. Walk good. To her family, yeah, our condolences, deep condolences. Yes? The other person I want to say hi today is our good friend is celebrating a birthday, the Minister of Local Government and the host of the Mayor's Parlor. Yeah? On a Sunday, right here, every Sunday afternoon for 5-6 hours, the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie, one of the most popular programs on Nationwide. Been going for almost 20 years now. Yeah? Desmond is celebrating a birthday today. And Kevin, let me see how good you are. Yeah? We want to say to the mayor, yeah? We call him the mayor. Mr. Mayor Desmond McKenzie. He's about what now? He's about 17, 18. Yeah? Flip that. 17, 18. Flip it. Yeah? But I know he is being celebrated today. I heard his wife Marcia sending him birthday greetings on behalf of the family earlier today. Yes? Big up yourself, Desmond. Yes? Still young, but getting on up in age. And this is for you, yeah? From your Nationwide family.
Yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Yeah. One more year on them. Yeah. Go on, a vibe. Give thanks for life. Next year we doing it again. Yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Whoa. One more year on them. Yeah. More life to you, can we day till the end. Real from me heart, no pretend. Big birthday, bash. If I ever on the ground, nigga, splash. Give thanks for your life, oh gosh. Watch it, they make me go dip in on the stash. Drink and smoke so we frost. Turn up the sound box. Girl, them a bubble to the max. Everything well, cool and relax. So we send out the location. They a pass spot. We a pop champagne non-stop, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Yeah. One more year on them. Yeah. Go on a vibe. Give thanks for life. Next year we doing it again. Yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Whoa. One more year on them. Yeah. More life to you, can we day till the end. Real from me heart, no pretend.
Yes, Desmond McKenzie, yeah, celebrating his 17th birthday, I'm told, today. All right? It's 12:43, yeah? We're going to take the break, or we have a call on the line? Al, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Cliff.
Good afternoon, Al.
Yeah, man, I'm a first-time caller. It's good to be on the program.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'll keep my comment short and to the point. Cliff, there is a high level of indiscipline that is played in our nation. But in this particular case, I'm referring to the indiscipline that plagues our nation's roads. Motorists, whether white or red or green plate, making 3 or 4 lanes on the road that is built to accommodate 2 lanes. Cliff, impatience is rampant, as if other motorists have nothing better to do with their time by adhering to the traffic laws. I think, this is a time bomb waiting to explode because, as you know, in Jamaican terms, a whole heap of ignorant people on the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm pleading to our nation's leaders to analyze the issue and come up with a solution as best as possible to address it. I know there was some talk of using the Jamaica Eye program and, to probably send tickets to the mail or whatever the case is. But the system can't work if the information available in the system is not good and true. But that being said, something needs to be done quick.
Yes.
Needs to be done.
No doubt about that, sir.
Yeah.
It's a problem we see all around us every day. Every day. Yeah?
It's terrible.
Yeah. And last week we lost how many? In one accident? One crash?
I think it was 5.
5. And several more injured. Yeah?
Yeah.
And what was the cause? Speeding. Carelessness. Rampant carelessness.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh.
All right. Well,
All
that's the nature of my call today, Cliff. But
I appreciate
yes,
it.
it's I think it's highly important. It needs to be addressed.
Thank
you.
All right. Take care. Time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah, Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
Phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, and 630-9374.
My hands were steady.
All right. Who do we have at 12:46? Henry. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Sir Cliff. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am not too bad myself. The same disgust that a lot of people have, I am having the same disgust with the things that are coming over social media and the disrespect, and it really doesn't look good and it doesn't sound good. As a Jamaican out in the diaspora, because I have not been living in Jamaica for 25 years. And
oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. But I come back home every year. I have a house there in Jamaica. But Jamaica is always home.
Good, good.
And I want, last night I really had to go on the internet and check the literacy rate of Jamaica. Because I cannot understand how people could really be behaving and operating the way that they are operating. As if they had, as if they lose their mind or something, like they are not thinking. And it doesn't really sound good. One of the things that there are a few issues, but I don't think I can go through them, but I go through them as fast as possible. I know a lot of people listening to you. And one of the things that I want Jamaican people to do is do not let politicians play on their emotions. Because politicians really know how to play on people's emotions. Governments operate in a way where there are processes. Government can't just take up things and just give to people like that. And I hear a man last night, I forgot his name, is on social media, saying the $150 million that the government is loaning to JPS, that the government should not have loaned JPS that money. The government should have, as if, used that money to rebuild the houses of the people in Westmoreland. And I'm trying to figure out, how does that one work? The government, I believe that the government is doing a pretty good job, Cliff. And the reason why I tell you that, I say that, as a journalist of your caliber, you should remember 2017, Hurricane Irma.
Yes.
That devastated the British Virgin Islands. That's where I'm living. I'm a survivor of Hurricane Irma.
Yes.
And it hit us the 6th of September 2017. And I am living next to the power plant in Road Town, which is the town of the BVI. And I did not get back electricity until December of 2017. There were places that did not get back electricity until 2018, January of 2018. Well, and to hear people making it seem like the government was, the electricity was JPS was supposed to already put back electricity in the whole of the western, the 6 parishes that is destroyed.
Well, in relation to the example you cited of that, I don't know what he is or who he or she is, blogger or whatever, yeah, you have to understand that a lot of them are not disaster management experts. A lot of them are not really imbued with levels of critical thinking. Yeah? So, for example, in this instant case, when he or she argues that, listen, the $150 million that is going to be lent to JPS should instead be used to fix what? Roofs, he said? Rebuild houses?
Rebuild houses.
What is clearly eluding him or her is the fact that when you do not have power, electricity, your ability to return to generate income, yes, to buy the materials, to fix your roof and to rebuild your life is virtually nil.
Yep.
Returning the light and the power, the electricity to half of the country, yes, is going to generate production and productivity that is absolutely needed to return our lives to normal. Them not understand that level of thinking. All that is motivating them is how to score a political point or some other agenda. That is not part of their thinking.
We just come out of election in September 3rd. It's over, and the election is over, and the government, the ruling JLP party, is now led by Honorable Dr. Andrew Holness, is in power and leading. Leave the political points until 3-4 years down the line when it's soon time again for another general election. Now is the time for everybody to just come on board, work together as Jamaicans, not JLP and TNP, to rebuild back Jamaica.
Yes.
That's what needs to happen now.
Yeah.
One of the next things that I'm seeing on social media again, which again is a disgusting thing. Again, over the years we've been well over 1,000 crimes for the year.
Murders.
Murder for the year. Thank you for the correct. Well over 1,000 murder for the year. I think there was a year where it was 1,600 and something.
Yes.
Murder for the year. And for the first time, Cliff, in my 25 years traveling back to Jamaica this year, I was feeling so comfortable with my family in Jamaica, going out where I want to go and not feeling afraid as a Jamaican come from Jamaica. First time when I come home, wherever I go, I do not want night to catch me.
Yes.
My wife is not from Jamaica, and in 2018, not 2018, in 2008, when she came to Jamaica for the first time to visit, it was a busload of gunmen that turned up at my gate, robbed my sister at my gate. And that experience just turned my wife upside down.
Yes.
And when I see we reach to the point where the government has worked so hard with the law enforcement, kudos to them. For the first time in 30 years or more, we will record less than 1,000, less than 700 murders for the year. That's something to celebrate.
Yes.
And when people is on social media say it is not the work of the police that causes this, and behaving with the police a kind of way because of the few shootings that the police might be doing.
Well, you know, sir, I believe that the overwhelming majority of Jamaicans will hear that nonsense and treat it as such. Nonsense. I believe I still have confidence in the majority of Jamaicans. Yeah? They know, and they give credit where credit is due. Those people who are trying to lie and to tell them otherwise, I think is engaged in an exercise of futility. And the Prime Minister says he's going to go to war with them. The Prime Minister better understand, what he has done so far is to keep his head down and do the work. That is going to be his ultimate decider. The fact that he gets the job done. Put the runs on the board. You can go to war with them as much as you want, but make sure you're not distracted from getting the job done.
Yes.
That's where we got to leave you.
I would like the government, the Prime Minister to deter to deal with that. What I need to do is get a task force to combat disinformation while he pay attention to what he needs to do, which is running the country. Congratulations to him. He's doing a great job.
All right, sir. That's how we're going to leave it. Want to say thanks to our producer, Noragay Banton, our technical operator, Kevin Williams, members of the news and production team, and of course our callers, our contributors. Yes, thank you all so much, our WhatsAppers, YouTubers, and tweets. Thank you. We're going to make way now for Oasis with Loy Gale. See you tomorrow morning at 10.
You've just heard Cliff Hughes Online on Nationwide 90 FM. Join Cliff Monday to Thursdays between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. for Cliff Hughes Online.
Like a rock.
Welcome to Oasis, brought to you by 3B Escarpment Road New Testament Church of God, a church filled by the Spirit, fueled for service.
Hi, I'm Loy Gale. Thanks for joining me. Last time we met, we faced an angry Pharaoh and some frustrated Israelite foreman. Nothing has changed. The angry Pharaoh says, "Lazy. That's what you are. Lazy. That's why you whine. Let's go so we can worship our God." Well then, go. Go back to work. Nobody's going to give you straw. And at the end of the day, you better bring in your full quota of bricks. The Israelite foremen saw that they were in a bad way, having to go back and tell their workers, "Not one brick short in your daily quota." As they left Pharaoh, they found Moses and Aaron waiting to meet them. The foremen said to them, "May God see what you have done and judge you. You have made us stink before Pharaoh and his servants. You have put a weapon in his hand that's going to kill us." Moses went back to God and said, "My master, why are you treating these people so badly? And why did you ever send me? From the moment I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, things have gotten only worse for this people. And rescue? Does this look like rescue to you?" Exodus 5, verses 17 to 23 from The Message, a contemporary rendering of the Bible from the original languages by Eugene Peterson. An angry Moses asks God, "Does this situation look like rescue to you?" Don't miss the follow-up on Oasis as God lays out his plan to Moses. Have a good afternoon.
Today's drink was brought to you by 3B Escarpment Road New Testament Church of God, a church filled by the Spirit, fueled for service.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.